I could hit the right one.
You did not hit the right one.
I didn't, but now I can hit the right. Oh, stand by. There we go. Now we're in the puzzle talk. That's on me. That one's on me.
If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
So it came out. Let me show y'all. See? Everybody's pointing to each other, so it worked out. Beginning. So there we go. All right.
I'd fire you, but then I'd have to do this stuff, and I don't want to do it.
Hey, everyone. It's time for Puzzle Talk, the geocaching puzzle podcast brought to you by the Geocache Talk Network. Here are your hosts tonight, Tom Brotherman and Kevin Divizia, a.k.a. Captain Math.
A.K.
A.k.a. also known as Captain Math. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. So Charles is lost somewhere in Alaska, but we are here, and so is our fans who are on for Puzzle Talk. We got people from all over. Also, obviously, Darren is in Australia. Hopefully, everything is going well in
couple
Wednesday.
There from down under.
We did. Micah 272 also in Australia. Sometime in the afternoon on Wednesday. So I always ask him how the future is going but we got them all the way from Kalamazoo, Michigan. There's Peter. Connecticut.
If we get back with them, does that mean we're getting back to the future?
We are getting back to the future by hearing about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
you. I'll be here all night.
Kitty Catch on that's right.
Kitty Catch.
Australia.
Do we have more people from Australia than we do Texas tonight?
I think we do right now. Just finding our ways on from Arizona. And let us know where you're at. Put it in the live chat if you're watching either on Facebook or if you are on Facebook. So there's New Jersey. Jersey. I'm from Jersey. You from Jersey?
New Jersey. What exit?
Whatever exit is, you can't turn left.
My wife grew up there. She told me I'm really not supposed to say that, but I can't resist.
The Force Awakens is in.
What a great name.
In for, yeah, I know, isn't that great? There's 4 of them. The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado.
Connecticut was there. I saw them earlier.
Connecticut. Yep. All right. Well, this could be an interesting show. Math. Most people like cringe when they think of math, but what's interesting, I'll tell a quick story. But
there you go.
The answer is 8. Oh, you're right. That's the correct answer. Yes, I thought it was 42, but maybe not.
Oop, I hit the.
You're good. Minimag, California. Yep. Can you still, Pizza Ninja, can you still not pump your own gas in New Jersey? Probably not. Hey, people got to work.
Can't. Mm-hmm.
People
work. Even Oregon gave up with that.
But not New Jersey.
Don't even dare try pumping your own gas. They'll run over, they'll grab you, they'll cost you, they'll take that thing back from you.
So it's like, okay, whatever.
My first Woodstock I went to when we drove through Oregon, I didn't know about that stuff, and we pull in to get gas somewhere, and but then the guy, he was really busy, and he looked at my plates and then looked at me and said, "Yeah, you know what you're doing. Pump your gas."
That's funny. So many people, not everyone, many people might cringe at math, but I found something, Kevin, that I think you're probably familiar with, or maybe even Tom might be familiar with, but I get binge watching off and on. So it's semi binge watching. Number File. Have you ever seen the YouTube?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Number File. I love Number File. They get down there and they grab their marker and the big piece of paper and they start making, start writing, and they show these. A lot of times, if anybody's into, you can go find, go do a YouTube search after the show for Number File and watch them, and they're fascinating. I find them fascinating, and I'm not, I was not particularly good at math. I think I got to analytic geometry, and that was it. I was done. I stopped. I took analytic geometry, I passed it, and I said, okay, I think I've hit I think I've hit my limit, but
hit your limit. I see what you
hit
did
my
there.
limit before I got to calculus or any of those, or pre-calc or any of those good things. So, but Number File, fascinating. Anyway.
The beauty of that show, Number File, is they're so, just like the name says, they're so excited about math. Their enthusiasm pours out, and you don't feel like you're going to ask yourself, like, why should I care about this? Because they care so much about it. They do such a great job on that show. Uh-oh.
Did we lose? Gary's freezing up.
Okay.
He froze. Oh no. And I was answering a question in the chat room. There we go. Well, Gary will probably end up rebooting and coming back when he.
Okay, so Tom, you and I are on?
You and I are on.
Okay. Gary,
I've never seen that Number File thing, so I know what I'll be doing after the show.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So many videos.
Yeah. So, yep, there he bailed. So, well, let's give him a minute to get back on.
Okay, we're having tech issues galore tonight, even before the show.
Oh yeah, that's the usual deal. Something's going on. I mean, Charles was going to be iffy to begin with, being on here because of where he's at, and then his computer got the blue screen of death, so that ended that. And then you were having problems with your headphones. Gary's having to reboot before the show. I think this computer may even die, so I may end up figuring out how to do this myself. I don't know. I'm hoping he gets back on, because I've got notes on one and not on the other. So well.
Are you able to bring up screens?
Let me see if I can do this. I have to add it over here. No, because this one doesn't have that. So yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Sweet.
Hold on a minute. Meanwhile, there's 10 kind of puzzle people. Those who understand it and those who don't.
1-0. I gotcha.
All right. So
Tom, just to throw out a thought, if you want, while we're waiting for him to come on, those puzzles I shot to you guys, are we able to bring those up to talk about them?
you shot them to him, I guess, because I don't know which puzzles you were talking about. So that's another reason I'm hoping he gets back on.
Gotcha.
Let
me see if I have. Do I have the ability to share? Do you want me to try sharing a screen and see if it works for me?
Oh, you can. It's just.
Hold on here.
There we go. All right, I got it where I can share a screen.
Okay.
Oh, I have to bail for just 1 second. Remember, I had to kid. You can tell what's going on.
How about this?
Kiddo. Hold on.
I'm alone.
Hello.
Oh gosh.
Yes, ma'am. I'm live.
You're listening in right now on Tom the Electric Water Boy. Let's see.
So I got some time. All right, I'll text you after the show. Okay, got time with the kiddo.
Good. Now.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Share screen. That's not the screen I want to share. I want to share.
Tom, if it were possible to go to that Algebra Railroad nightmare, at least that way we can work that one in. Gary is back.
Sorry about that. No problem.
Good, you're back because I'm having problems too. I went to try to share this stuff and it wasn't working for me. I was going to get there. And meanwhile, where are you gone? The kiddo called, so she's at 4. Right now.
Oh no, she's about getting close to delivering the baby.
You're going to be EWB Junior.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's awesome. Which one are you guys talking about right now? And I'll bring it up.
First one, the Mathematics Series Algebra.
Okay.
Awesome. So, pretty. I mean, I would say simple, but I mean, they don't all have to be difficult, right?
No, they don't all have to be difficult.
I can share the screen.
Share the screen so people know what we're talking about, and I'll put the code out there.
Yeah.
See.
Algebra I wasn't too bad at. Algebra was I was pretty good at. I'm pretty good.
I left out the 4.
Oh yeah. We talked about
that one ought to work better.
Yeah, and something we talked about before the show is obviously we don't. People know that watch the show regularly. We don't share. We're not here to solve puzzles for you. We're here to.
Unless you're on the super duper extra large bison tube patron, and then we'll consider it.
No, we're not going to do that even then. But we're trying to give you a nudge. But also, as we talked about before, we're trying to do 2 things here. We're trying to help you in solving puzzles, mostly, they don't have to be in your area, mostly just solving puzzles. But we also are hoping that people watching will also then build puzzles if they get inspired. So we're trying to do both. So scroll up to the top so they see the title of this one. Just that title alone might scare the crap out of some people. Mathematics Series Algebra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is a cache bow. The Wild Rose of Texas. I know who that is.
Oh, I know who that is too.
I thought she adopted this one. She may have. I don't remember.
It shows she's got it. Been out since 2014. This one actually has had some DNFs recently, which that's okay. It happens. But
we're all about solving the puzzle, right?
Yeah, solving the following. I love this algebraic. What a great phrase. Algebraic problems to find the correct coordinates, and then she gives information about that, and then she gives different algebra items.
Yeah, she adopted this one. I went through the notes.
okay.
I was like, I don't remember this being hers.
But not bad. I mean, this is a pretty straightforward, but still fun. Get people to think a little bit.
Do you remember how to do this kind of algebra?
Well, we got several variables.
Mm-hmm.
9g plus 2 equals 20. So I've got to be able to determine g based on the information you've given me, and I can. And I think I can do that with all of them. And then she does something. The sum of half of a number of that is that. What is the number? Same as F, same as D. So some of them are repeated. Okay.
So the sum of half of a number and 5 is 9. So I assume that we're looking for the number that she's talking about there. So half of what number and 5 gives you 9?
Gives you 9. So to have a sum of half a number, so I would assume 8 would be the number.
Yeah. Half of 8 is 4 plus 5 is 9.
9.
Ding,
so
ding.
forth. Yep. Yeah, I like that one.
You can do all this. You can do it.
Yes. All right.
And if not, find a high school kid or middle school kid going through algebra and sub it out.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go? Where do you want to go next? You want to go to the next one? You want to go down further?
Just go right down the list.
Okay. Next one is an arithmetic.
Ooh.
What a great word. Arithmetic.
Should be the three R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Reading, writing, arithmetic. But it's
I thought it was reading, writing, and recess.
Well, it probably was. That was definitely for me too. Was reading, writing, and recess. So this one has been archived. That's okay. We talk about archive caches on the show a lot too, because we get good inspiration from them. Mathematics can be subdivided. Captain Math can help us with this, by the way. So
there you go.
Let's see if we get this right. Tell me if this is correct. Mathematics can be subdivided. Go ahead.
I was say this is by the same guy. So up the top you'll see Cardo Ed, but if you see at the very top it says Golden Goddess 73 done because she adopted this one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So when he was leaving town, he adopted all the stuff out, and so.
Oh, okay. Cool. Mathematics can be subdivided into the study of quantity, structure, space, and change, i.e., arithmetic, algebra, geometry, and analysis. I have never heard that before. Arithmetic is the oldest. This part I think I've heard. Arithmetic is the oldest and most elementary branch of mathematics. Start here if you want to learn the basics. Okay. Yeah, I could kind of see that.
With mathematics there and that attempt to define it, I was part of a conversation one time, but a bunch of math geeks together, mathematicians, and the question being discussed was define mathematics.
Right.
And that catches you by attention because how do you define something that you basically live in like that? And one of the best definitions I ever heard for it is mathematics is the study of pattern. And that really applies to geocaching because you're solving these puzzles. Can you see the pattern and what's coming up? That's it, to see through that pattern.
Right.
But
that's a good way to put it, Kevin. I mean,
I would say mathematics is you got 3 kids and 2 cookies, and somehow you satisfy all of them.
You can cut it up properly, right? So everybody gets even amount.
No, you eat them both.
Oh, and just tell them you're going to go get them McDonald's or something, right?
Kids are on their own.
Kids are on their own.
Get a job, kids. Buy your own cookies. Mean
daddy. But back to the thinking about what you're saying there, Kevin, is that it as as you would most aptly say, we use math every day.
We all use math every day. Yes, we do.
But what's interesting is that you know about patterns. You know, one thing that we do as good geocachers is that we look for something that's not a pattern sometimes. The unusual pile of rocks,
Right.
unusual pile of sticks, something that, or a beacon, as people call it sometimes, the large tree that you're thinking, okay, the cache is pretty much got to be there. Doesn't have to be, but more than likely it's at the tree. So we look for patterns in nature to help us with geocaching. So I can see that.
Yeah, Gary, if I could throw this in, I was a statistics teacher for a long time.
Oh, I love
statistics. One of the cool things about statistics is that there is this concept that actually a lot of statisticians these days argue whether we should even bother to teach it anymore, something called a p-value. And it's basically this measure of how unusual, or I should say how common a certain thing is under certain conditions. And just thinking of what you just said, you were practically describing the concept. I've actually used geocaching to help explain p-value to my students in the past because, you talked about that unusual pile of rocks. So you'd ask yourself when you're walking along, what's the likelihood that just by natural causes that these rocks are going to be sitting here in an arrangement like that?
Right.
And when you see something that's just unusual, when we say the p-value is low, then we know something's unusual about that. And of course, that's when we start seeing those things. So the geopile and,
geotrail,
right.
That should not be there.
That's it.
So it's a something that's outside of outside of that normal. It's something that sticks out. It's the whole Sesame Street. What is different? What's different? What shouldn't belong?
One of these squares is not like the others.
Exactly. Force Awakens put it. You look for the pattern and determine what doesn't fit. There you go.
Did you look at the questions on this one?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, statistics class. So aren't like 73% of all statistics made up?
But
I've heard that with different numbers, but yeah. But I guess if they're all made up, it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
Until you're taking a test, and then it really matters.
Trisha does point out that there's no checker. A lot of these older ones, I think.
Yeah, the older ones don't have them.
Yeah, I guess you could if you have an old one. By the way, you might want to go back and put a checker on them. You can. It just many times they don't. But
the one we're looking at's archived, isn't it?
Yeah,
this one's archived.
Read the questions though, because they start out simple and they get a little tougher.
It gets interesting in the second set, doesn't it?
Yeah, it starts off with what's the sum of 7? What was the sum of 2 and 0, and then what's the product of 9 and 1? Okay, we're flowing now, and then it gets to what number is the dividend? 8 divided by 4 equals 2, and then like you said, does it get even? Before that, ask what prime, which number is prime? Okay, no problem there. What number is not a natural number?
Okay. I'm not fond of the way that one's written. Can I say that here?
Sure. What number is not a natural number?
Well, there's all kinds of numbers. They don't have to be whole numbers or integers or whatever here. So, but I guess that's what we understand they're talking about.
Yeah.
But natural numbers, counting numbers.
Yeah, that one should be a gimme on this puzzle though. Anyway.
Yeah, because of where it is.
Yeah. Same with the next one. That if you don't know
angles?
How many angles? You don't even have to know that. You just have to know whereabouts this cache is, and that part's easy.
Yeah, right.
You're kind of brute forcing then. Well, not brute forcing. You're solving it backwards though.
Well, on this part, the first 4 numbers should be pretty easy to get.
I know. How many angles does a nonagon have? Does it would be 0, right? Nonagon is non-nonagon? No. Okay.
No. No.
Does it work that way?
No. That's more a language question.
Yeah.
There is a little oops on K there.
Oh, reminder, not remainder. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
Aha. Maybe that's part of the puzzle. That was my problem when I first started doing puzzles. Was I thought everything was a puzzle, and so the first law of puzzle caches is that don't overthink it. Sometimes I would always, pretty much always I overthought them. I always think, oh, well, maybe there's something about this space right here. Contact the puzzle owner and go, but there's extra space here, and I'm contemplating why. He goes, I just threw an extra space in because I mistakenly put an extra space. Move on. That's not the puzzle. Like, oh man, I'm overthinking it.
It's like, oh, that's misspelled. That must be the whole puzzle right there. Well, on some puzzles it is, but not this
It
one.
might be, but not this one. How many halves does an entire have? That's funny. It's a funny way to put it.
Yeah, a whole unit maybe might sound better than an entire.
I don't know. I think it's. I kind of like the weird way they put it. How many halves does an entire have? How many halves does an entire have?
Yeah.
Have, I guess. How many thousands are in 7,010? It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I like
it. Go to the next.
Next.
More arithmetic.
More arithmetic. Okay.
More arithmetic. I don't see this one. Hang on. Here.
No, it's arithmetic 2.
Arithmetic 2. And I'll grab the note for everybody to look at. And I'll share the screen.
Okay.
I was going to type it in, but if you're already there, then I ain't going to mess with it.
I got it. So, share. Arithmetic.
You have a GC number for that quickly? Either of you?
Yeah. GC4P as in puzzle. V as in virtual.
Or validate.
9 as in difficulty.
9.
9 and then D as in difficulty.
Okay.
Send 9 down.
Thank you. Here it comes. Okay. Oh, this is that Carto Ed. You know him, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Carto Ed.
Okay.
So this is pretty similar to the last one.
This was in 2013.
Except for this one doesn't have as many gimmies in it.
I should name it the furlough cache. Ooh, furlough. I don't know about you, Kevin. I like the old, and I've used them in a couple caches. I like the old words we used for measurements. I don't know why I find them fun, but like league, we don't really use the term league very much. 20,000 leagues under the sea, but league or cubit depends on which cubit you're looking at. But cubit is kind of a cool term. In this case, a furlough. We usually in horse racing you hear about a furlough, but you just don't hear furlong. Yeah, furlong. Yeah, but there's all these terms that a span. I think there's an actual specific measurement for span. You know what I'm talking about. There's several of those words that we just don't use anymore in typical American English. I don't know about around the world since we are international.
And there's words that we use that think aren't anything and are, like buttload.
Right. How much is that? Yeah. What's the weight of that?
No, it's an actual measurement. It's 126 gallons of wine.
Is it really a buttload? Versus a crap ton? That's a different one?
That's a whole nother thing, yeah.
That's a whole other thing. Of course, we use imperial. Ooh, very, very hoity-toity to say imperial.
Hoity-toity.
Versus metric. Hoity-toity. Well, I don't know how to put it. Voltgoss saying question T has 2 answers.
Whoops. I got to get back to that page there. Where did it go?
T, which of the following is not a prime number? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's right. Well, wait, no. Yeah, because there's two. There's all right. Can we just talk these ones through?
You can talk
Because
that with him.
yeah, because I mean, one's
Yeah.
not a prime number. A prime number is any number that's divisible by exactly two numbers, one and itself.
In itself.
So 2 is prime and 3 is prime. 4 is composite, so it's not prime, and 1 is just unity, as we like to say. Does that sound hoity-toity? I don't know, but that one, he's right. So hey, I'm gonna be in Georgia with that guy, so we'll be able to argue about stuff like this.
I'm not going to give too much away, but you know.
Yeah, is that the one we're looking for? Probably. Which one is not a prime number? That's probably the one that you're referring to.
That might be the one.
Yeah, that may be the one. Was this one archived? No, it's not archived.
No.
This is live.
So
This
we
one's
helped you with a
live.
little bit in case somebody needs chicken eats or a great red spot. You can come down here and get it.
Woohoo!
How many faces does the cube have? Well, it didn't have any faces. It's a cube. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm overthinking it. Funny though, we just talked about that. How many pints in a quart? Very imperial of us to use, right? That's
Yeah.
we don't but certain go ahead.
I always struggle. I have to stop and think through those ones. Just some of these just aren't natural to me. So yeah, 2 pints in a quart, but it's like
Oh, that's down same thing.
Well, that depends
Yeah.
if I got to the ice cream before you did.
Yeah, there you go.
It may have went from a quart to a pint, is what you're saying?
It may be a lot less than that.
All right. Let's switch gears. Where do you want to go next? We want to go to 3.14?
So yeah, let's go there.
That sounds like fun. Where
We
is
all
that?
love
me hungry.
pie. Yeah, it makes me hungry to see that.
I may have to ask for your
Yeah.
help. Oh, wait a minute. I maybe have found that one. Is that
These-
5P1
P1.
H2?
H2, yeah. Which is funny, it has P in it.
Yeah.
The letter,
Okay.
there we go. Oh, you shared it too.
Wow. I actually solved this one before. I never been down there to get it.
You were a solver.
I was a solver of this one.
Is this one down your way?
This is 5 miles from the house.
Oh yeah, you're right. Now it's got a certitude, so that's nice. I like the fact that it has that.
Mm-hmm.
He goes through and gives a nice explanation. Ooh, I love that photo, that picture.
Yeah.
Oh, let me share it. It would help if I shared it, wouldn't it?
This one's more than math, though.
Ooh, more.
Oh no, it's just some simple math.
Simple.
Well,
I like the way you put that. Simple math. I love that photo. That's what I'm trying to explain to the people listening. And I'll explain it to those that are or people watching. For those listening, it's a picture of sort of pi, but it's going in a weird direction. It's spiraling in on itself. And I like that.
It's going down the drain.
It is, but it's infinitely going down the drain, or at least we think it's probably infinite.
It's probably infinite. It's probably infinite. As far as we know, it never repeats.
Should we keep going on the computers that are trying to figure out pi, Kevin, or do you think it's a waste of time? Do you think
this
have
one
we
might
proven-
not fit what we're doing here?
right?
I don't know. Because I had taken some notes on this one. This I must have solved in not a long time ago, back when we didn't have room for these notes. And I don't know whether you want me to say any more, but I mean, I have in my notes that there's a certain thing that you need to be able to look into, go to the source.
Sure.
Let's just say there's a tool in the notes that you'll get that will be very useful for this puzzle. Because there's a few common things people do with pi. So, but the first thing you got to do with this one is find the puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
And then once you find the puzzle, which really isn't that difficult, then you got to figure out what the heck is he telling me there with it. But then
Mhm.
once you say, okay, well, what could I possibly do with what he's given me other than the obvious?
Yeah.
Then it becomes a matter of plugging it in and see what happens and comes out.
Cool. I
So
like
there,
that.
I solved it without saying a thing.
Without
Woohoo.
you solved it without telling anybody how to solve it, but you solved it anyway. That's
That
fine.
was useful, and for just send $20 in a self-addressed stamped envelope. But
There you go.
I'll tell you what I said.
Wow.
Tell you, I think we just threw a curveball to everybody because this one's quite a jump in difficulty from the ones we were talking about before.
This is a pretty good jump. Yeah, I don't think I solved this one in 5 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Difficulty 4.
Oh, I'm looking where this is.
But let me go back to a question I was asking about Kevin.
Mhm.
So people have there's got to be a computer out there currently running that is trying to solve pi. Is it a waste of computer power at this point? Have we proven, I guess that's my question. Have we proven that there's no way to find the end of pi? That's my question.
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Pi is proven. Actually, there's two answers to this, but they both say yes, it's proven because pi is first and foremost, I guess it's a irrational number.
Right.
There's no way to write pi exactly as a ratio of two integers, two whole numbers, I guess you could say. And but the fact that it's irrational means that your decimal representation is never going to terminate or repeat. It's going to continue to go on and on and on that way. But pi has like an even cooler level of complexity to it. It's known as a transcendental number.
Right.
And as a transcendental number, the transcendency that we're talking about here is that if I had an equation like x squared plus 5x minus 7 and wanted to find out, okay, what would x be? Well, x would come out to be one of those irrational numbers we were just talking about. But pi is even more sort of out there than that in that it's transcendental because I hope I didn't say something wrong just now, but you can't have like something based on exponents or radicals that's going to end up equaling this either. So pi can't be the solution to say x cubed minus 5x plus 7 or something like that equals 0.
Right.
So we need not worry. I mean, you're not going to run out of digits of pi. You're not going to find a cycle. You are going to see just by randomness in here, I guess you could say, looking in here, that not very far in it, there's a string of like 6 9s in a row. And people think, wow, there's something to that. But then it goes on its merry way after that. And those 6 9s in a row are probably in that picture somewhere, but don't make my eyes look for it.
Right.
So the guy walking along the pi string just stopped to smell the flowers for a few minutes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
right.
that's
said,
it.
I'm going to keep going now. It's sort of is it the phrase that, because Karen said, because a circle can always be of any size, but is it that you can never create the perfect circle? Is that where that's coming from? That it can never be perfectly round, therefore you can never determine the roundness of a circle? Is that why pi is irrational, or is there some other reason for?
No, the reason basically is just that, when this is a deep question, way more than I think we can handle in the time that we got here.
Right.
But, to say what pi is and when you think of a circle, yeah, you can talk about a perfect circle. It's this, all the points are the same distance from a center,
right?
In a flat surface.
Yeah.
But what's neat about it is that if I could take that circumference of the circle, that distance around it, and snip it and stretch it out like a string. I actually have a puzzle cache based on this. Stretch it out, then this circumference is, if I looked at how much longer that is than the diameter of it, of the circle, that ratio is pi.
Is pi, right?
Yeah. So can we say what pi is? We can say exactly what pi is, but we can't say it exactly with our language of decimals. It's not going to work.
We can't get to the final part of it. Yep.
You can be right forever, or you can just say pi.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Let's see. This next one is funny because it's a completely different. It's a pie tree.
Pie tree. I'm looking.
Hey, what about this question here?
Okay.
It'd be a 10-pan ratio. I get it. I know where he's going with this. I think that's funny.
Oh, a golden ratio. Would pi be the 10-pan ratio? 10 pan. 10 pan?
Depends if your grandma cooks it in a tin pan or cast iron pot or skillet, or she got the Corningware or what.
Next one is called Pie Tree. And it's a riddle, I guess. The riddle is blueberry, apple, banana cream, lemon, and cherry are significant. Mathematics is a great subject. I think Kevin would agree. Put the two together and it should lead you straight to the cache. Okay.
Pi. Mathematics is a great subject.
That's
Put the two together.
difficulty 4.
I'm not seeing the riddle.
You will need to decipher the riddle in order to get the actual coordinates. Once you find it, you can head over to one of my other nearby caches. The riddle is blueberry, apple, banana cream, lemon, and cherry are significant. Okay.
I see something catches my attention, but I'm not sure it's going to give us
I bet it is
an answer. You see it? Look at those first letters in there. Is that where you're thinking, Tom?
Oh, I've got this solved and found.
Oh, okay.
Solved and found.
I haven't seen it until just now.
How funny.
This is actually one of those things we were talking about before, guys. When is there something? I may be going the wrong way with this. I don't know, but I find it unusual that of all those words that are significant there, that outside of lemon, they all come in the early part of the alphabet.
Right.
So blueberry is 2, apple is 1, banana cream is 2 and 3. I don't know if this is going anywhere. How many digits do we need? We only need 5 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 different kinds of pi.
Yeah. Right. And there's 5 digits missing, right? A, B, C, W, X, and Y. There's 6 missing, I guess.
No.
Oh, are there 6? No, W is West.
5.
Oh, West. You're right. That's not a integer or right. Yeah, A, B, C, and X and Y. Those are the 5 that are missing.
What is he?
Puzzle.
I thought you would have picked up on this thing. So what's he tell you about those pies?
They're significant.
Significant.
Like that significant digits?
That should ring a bell to you right there. And it's a puzzle about pi, so
2
blueberry,
2,
apple,
3,
banana cream, lemon, cherry. Well, they're all pies.
This is terrible. I don't see this one.
I don't want to give too much away, but it's got to do with pi.
Right.
And I already made a big deal about significant.
Significant.
Am I thinking too mathy with thinking that's significant digits? It's something different than what I'm.
It does have a checker.
Significant digits has got everything in the world to do with it.
Oh boy.
Sign significant.
Wait a minute. 9, 5. No, that can't be it either.
No, because
Remember,
All the-
pi's involved.
Right. So which digit in pi?
Pi may be involved more than one way. I'll put that. How's that for you then? I'll say
Ooh.
that.
Oh,
The names of the pi are important, and pi is important.
So
I think I
blueberry.
know where you were going, Kevin. You're thinking blueberry has got 9 letters. Is that right? 4.
But that's
5,
going to break
6,
down in
7.
a little bit.
But what's the 9th digit in pi? Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Oh, or significant. The ninth
Because-
digit in pi?
9th digit of pi, because I'm thinking because banana cream has got what? 2, 4,
High 5.
6, 8, 10, 11. So I'm thinking you can't use 11 because that doesn't fit into the coordinates, but it could be the 11th digit of pi.
So stick with Apple for a minute.
Okay.
5 digits. So pi is what? 3.141179.
No,
Right.
no. 3.1415. So the fifth
Okay.
digit 5?
Right.
Is that what
That's
you're
I
getting
would
from
think.
that?
That's what I would get.
Because blueberry is 9 letters.
Yeah.
So that
So
would be 3.141592665. So we
Except
should
for
have 5 for the first 2.
leave the 3 out because it's just
Oh,
a
leave the
Oh.
3 out.
They only want decimals. Okay.
Significant part. Okay.
Gotcha.
That
After
makes
the
sense.
all right, so 3.141592653.
3, 5,
So
no.
3.
3.
Right.
3 is
Oh,
it? Okay. All right, I get it. Yeah.
All right. I like it.
You know, truth is, Tom, I would have been sitting here guessing until something hit the geochecker on this one because I don't know that hint's not jumping out at me or something. It's like, oh, gee, of course, significant.
That's funny. I like it.
Well, there's a reason why this one's a 4.
Yeah. There you go.
Took a little trick down. I don't know if you may not have one in this one, but the first time I saw it, it's kind of like when you get, and y'all have probably been down this road. The first time you see some kind of cache container you've never seen before. I remember the first time I found a fake outlet. If y'all ever seen those, or fake wall, the first time you see it, in fact, Susan's the one that found it because that's typical. She's much better at geocache than me. She moved it, and I was like, "Whoa, how can you move it? Because it looks like it's bolted in." She moved it and flipped it around and goes, "Look, there's the logbook." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's incredible!" So the first time I saw what I'm about to tell you about, it makes perfect sense, and everybody goes, "Oh yeah, it makes sense." But when you first see it for the very first time, and that is a cache where the digits perfectly for coordinates are perfect in pi, because there's so much randomization within pi, and there's apps out there that'll let you, so like if you have you want to give people the location, the puzzle, and you have coordinates that you need to give them for the final, and you can find that in a certain location in pi. I found that to be amazing. Not that it makes perfect sense, but the first time you see it,
the tool that's in the notes that will do that for you, because I found some of those. I don't have any of those in the
right.
They're not in the thing tonight, but
I like that.
I've seen a ton of those. Yeah.
Now, what's funny, or what really was made it even cooler, was we had an event here locally back in 2015 on March 14th. So it was 3.1415 was the date of our Pi date
Right.
event. In fact, I made path tags to give out at the event that had 3.1415 on it. That day, we went and found a cache that was just like I was telling you all about. The you had to find a certain point in Pi, and it gave you the final coordinates to the cache, and the cache was a little plastic container that was in the shape of a blueberry pie or something. So
Okay.
it was like everything was perfectly fit. On the 3.1415 day, we had an event, and we went and found this cache, and it was like a perfect storm. So
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna look at a clock cache. Is that where we want to go
Yeah,
next?
yeah, that
Okay.
one.
Where
There's two
is
ways to do
that?
this one.
So let me bring it up, and then I'll share it with the chat room.
Maybe call out a GC number if you don't mind.
I will, yes, sir.
Okay.
GCW as in water, D as in difficulty, 8, the letter 8, the number 8, sorry, the letter 8, the number 8, and then D as in difficulty. So GCWD 8D.
Okay.
And I'll
WD8D.
share that
And running a clock cache.
clock cache.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. Ouch.
I think you said you found this one, right? Or not? You solved
I
it,
haven't.
think.
I solved it. I never actually gone out and found this one.
Okay.
But oh yeah, this one's kind of, if you like a lot of, I don't want to say sloppy arithmetic, but of a lot of once you get the concept of it, the concept is really cool, but the arithmetic to follow it through to the end is a bit of work.
Yeah.
I guess
So
calculator.
right. So this one I think is interesting because it says until now I have resisted mathematical puzzles. If one of my puzzles seemed to have a mathematical bent, there was always a twist that allowed you to solve it without math. But if Markta can have a math puzzle, somebody they must know, so can I. Here's one that needs only simple arithmetic to figure out. Once you see how it's done, the values for the coordinates formula can be quickly worked out on a calculator.
Yeah.
The hour, minute, and second hands on an ideal analog clock all line up exactly only once every 12 hours at noon and midnight. Right. It's the old joke about the clock is the broken clock's correct twice a day.
Yeah.
The hour and minute hands line up 10 additional times between noon and midnight at the following times. Wait a minute. The hour and minute hands line up 10 additional times.
And he gives you those times there.
Yeah.
Or most of the time.
Okay.
He gives you the hour, the minute, and the second. But to get the coordinates, you have to find the 10th of a second.
Oh, wow.
But you only need the hour and minute to line up.
The hour?
Right?
Yeah, you need the hour and the minute hand to line up. And he tells you what times they do that. But only out to the second. And he wants the 10th of a second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There is kind of, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but there's sort of a trick you could do to solve this one.
You don't have to go get an analog clock and try to figure it out.
No, actually, I don't know why I didn't see it, but yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this because I can't see the screen right now. Let me go bring up. Yeah, all right, good. So
show us
just a picture of it. So I have a couple of pens here, and here, let me get something with a little different color to it.
Okay.
There, you can see the difference between the Sharpie and that blue pen.
Yeah.
So if I say that this is my hour hand and this is my second hand, of course, hour and minute, sorry. The minute goes around, but in the meantime, the hour hand is moving too, but it's moving much, much more slowly.
Correct.
So as this hand goes around, it has to go around a full revolution.
Yeah.
While this one, that hour only moves like 1/12 of a full revolution, 30 degrees. So
Correct.
this thing is going 30 degrees per hour, and this one's going 360 degrees
60.
per hour.
Right.
That's right. So, and then you can kind of keep doing that over and over and over again. The thing that's, so what you could do is then figure out like at what time does it take for these? This is like an algebra problem with almost trains on a train track,
Uh-huh.
except it's going in circles. So if this thing is going around at its own rate, this thing's going around at its own rate,
Right.
then basically how long does it take for these two trains to come together
To
again?
line back up. I can see, but down to a tenth, that's interesting because I'm thinking, well, just in general, you can look at a clock and go, well, about 105 is roughly what it, is a point where they're going to look similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you've got in 315, they kind of line up at 315 and 420 and 525 kind of, but
this gets exact.
yeah, you got to get to a tenth of a second. Second?
And actually these ones, I could do this now because I see a trick through it here.
See it.
I don't know why it didn't hit me before, but anyway, I'm looking at them. I know that answer for A, if they ask for more digits, is going to be another 7, but that 7 is going to bump that A up to a 3. Because the key thing here is that how many times do they come together other than right at noon?
Right. Oh.
So they're going to do that. If you look through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other times. So there's like 11 chunks of time in there. If we took that 12 hours and divided it by 11, is that making sense?
Something like that. I'm
Take a
just
whole
gonna say,
pie.
I will say I hit the little easier button than you did.
Okay.
Google is your friend, and I found people who did the math already and went through the whole explanation.
Dang. Okay. All right.
Figured and found, but yes, because the math. I mean, this could get interesting, but it is like you said. It's the two trains leaving the station at the same time.
Same time, but when do they cross?
Yeah.
That's
a deep problem. That's a good problem.
That is a deep problem. Where you want to go next, Tom?
I'll go right down the line.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one, which is I will share about pterodactyls. That's where we're headed next.
Pterodactyls.
I
had that open somewhere here.
Beware of sleeping pterodactyl. This one's a 4.5. I'm sorry. It's a 3.5. DC7M, as in multi.
So
D is in difficulty. Y is in Yuma, and F is in Fizzy.
Find it.
Interesting.
So this one's kind of pi related, in that I found it's up in Tatum, and I found it at the Cedo, which is usually the same weekend as Tatum Pecan Pie Fest.
That's true.
Oh. If I solve this, can I have some pecan pie?
That's right.
You said pecan. Are you texting us like into pecan?
We're pecans, yes.
You're pecans.
But I will not
pecan is something you go to the bathroom in.
I will not a pecan. Now I will not turn down a pecan pie if you offered it to me. Let me tell you that.
No. I'll tell you you're wrong the whole time I'm stuffing my face.
Well, as he finishes off the pecan pie, and he'll tell you, but that's okay.
Just like I'll eat your chili with beans in it while I'm telling you there shouldn't be beans in chili.
Beans in chili. That's right. Well, it's no longer chili, but that's okay. If you want to put beans in there, just can't call it chili, but that's okay. Beware of sleeping pterodactyls. The cache is located, Martin Cemetery, blah, blah, blah. Now for the puzzle. When you stand at the posted coordinates, look around the cemetery, you will see two very large granite markers around 6 feet tall. That's like 1.2 times 98x, or a little less than K13.
And that's 2 cachers up there.
Okay. Oh yeah, 98x. I know that. I know who 98x is. I didn't know a K13, but I'm familiar with 98x. Makes
Glenn
more
and
sense
Kevin.
now. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that the K13 was okay. Somewhere between them, you see a historical marker. Blah blah blah. Let's see. Choose left or right and go to the large granite marker. Count the letters in the surname for those of us from East Texas. That's the last name on the marker. Surname. That's funny. That's the last name for you people from East Texas, which is where
Yeah.
I'm living. Now for some math. Add the number of letters in your choice of direction, A or B, plus C. Use the table below to determine where to find the first stage of this cache.
So super simple math on this one.
But
Your elementary school kid can do this one. You got to go find the marker, and then you find the name, count the numbers, and add them up.
But I don't know which way to choose. What if I choose left?
Okay. Go ahead.
It's going to be different if I choose right.
Is it?
We're going to end up with two different spots.
Maybe not. Well, maybe
Oh.
2 different spots, but maybe the math works out the same with the names.
Oh.
In your choice of
Maybe.
direction. The number of
Maybe.
letters in your choice of direction. East or west.
If you choose left or right, looking at the historical marker, choose left or right, and go to that large granite marker. Count the letters in the surname. Okay, so it kind of all depends on where. So I guess is this sort of the joke of you need to be there? You got to be there to
For this,
understand it?
for this one, you have to be there. So there's
it's a
4
field
letters in
puzzle.
left, 4 numbers in left. There's 5 numbers in right. So I'm just going to make this super simple. If you go to the left, the guy on the left, his name's got 5 letters, and you go to the right, the guy on the right's got 4
That's
letters.
4
so,
letters.
so it adds up. It adds up the same.
Clever.
I'm not saying
Clever.
that's the answer because, frankly, I don't think that. Yeah, it could be, maybe. I don't know.
But I like the idea. It's a little.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I was thinking that's clever. Yeah.
And I kind of think, I mean,
Glasses.
this
when you
is
choose-
it was made a puzzle, but I kind of think shouldn't this have been a multi?
Yeah, it could have been a multi. I can see your point.
It's a borderline call, I think, on this one.
Yeah, it's kind of in between.
But it was fun. This had a cool final.
Oh, neat. No, I always love that aspect of it. So, okay,
I enjoyed this one.
Let's trick it. I was gonna say, let's trick it up. Let's go down the list. We'll come back to that one. Let's do one of Kevin's, and then we'll come back. Just to kind of make things a little different. We're gonna start with your first one on the list, there, Kevin. An algebra railroad nightmare. Well, that doesn't sound good at all. I mean, it does, but I'm saying is,
you remember all the way math gets picked on terribly,
Sure.
of course.
Oh yeah.
If you can you bring up that page for people to see that?
I'm going to do that. I'm just letting people know too. They're listening. It's GC70. F is in fizzy. The number 6, and then P is in puzzle, because it is a puzzle. But it's also the last letter of the chord of the GC. GC70 F6P, and I'm bringing it up now for all of us to look at. And I'm doing that right now. It's called an algebra railroad nightmare.
Yeah.
And there it is.
So I hope I can give a shout out right here. I got to give a shout out. How does a guy who lives in the northeastern corner of Pennsylvania on the border of New York and New Jersey own a geocache down in North Georgia? And big shout out to my good friend Tracy Letterman, Team Letterman. who lives in Milledgeville, Georgia.
Yeah,
who,
Milledgeville.
Yeah, he helped set me up with this geocache, the physical part of it, and then it was up to me to create a puzzle to go with it. And so I created 2 puzzles. And this is an unusual one because you get to pick which kind of puzzle you like best. So if you could,
choose your
Gary,
own adventure. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So let's go look at the first choice there, that Gary Larson version there that you see.
Yep,
See, Gary,
side.
right?
Yep.
Mathphobic's nightmare. Okay, now listen up. Nobody gets in here without answering the following question. The train leaves Philadelphia at 1 p.m. It's traveling 65 miles an hour and blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. You know,
I love it.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that we always got picked on. Like, you know, I mean, math solves puzzles that nobody cares about, right? But
like I says, say, you need some paper?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Train leaves here. And go ahead.
Now, is it Union Pacific? Is it Burlington, Northern Santa Fe? Or
yeah.
does that make a difference?
No. The key thing here is you get down to the 2 options a little bit farther down. So here's what you actually have to do. Either option 1, math at the Milledgeville Railroad. Now, I love this. This takes you to the train station, a really nice train station in Milledgeville, where some basic algebra or basic arithmetic, similar to what you guys were, Tom, that you picked a little bit before, is there. And so I just kind of took that Mathphobic's nightmare and I made it real for the town of Milledgeville. One train sets out from Eatonton at 11:39 a.m. and heads south toward Gordon. Another train leaves Gordon at exactly the same time, heads north toward Eatonton. I'm not going to read the whole rest of it, but here's the ugly, messy math problem. And I actually got to see Volkloss's response there. You know what, Joe, I'm in the same place as you for sure. I would jump at
going straight to option 2.
That's right. I definitely go straight to option 2. So
that's funny.
Anyway, yeah, you know, I love math. This is drudgery to me. But anyway, you know, but you could solve that and do this. And there's if you don't mind me getting off on a teeny tangent real quick.
Sure, go for it. We do that all the
time.
time.
What I did, if you could scroll down and bring up maybe the most recent log on this was an interesting one.
And then you did a railroad ciphers option 2, by the way, for those that are
we'll come back to that in just a second.
Okay.
But just so people see what's up with this one. I think this is the one here.
Go down further?
Yes. So what I asked people to do, you know, just go to the most recent log.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I enjoyed. Shout out to RB Motmont. I hope I'm saying that right. Gary, you're so good at reading all those geocaching names. RB Motmont.
I know.
But anyway,
RB Motmont.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, I challenged people not just to come up with a solution, but I wanted, just for my own interest's sake, which one did you choose? And it's interesting. You can scroll through here now and you have a whole database of like, what did people do? And this guy, I love it. This guy ends up, did he do 1 first to solve it? And then he went and did option 2. Now, I wonder if Volkloss would have, if he was doing both, he would have done it the other way around. I don't know. But or maybe he would have just done 2 and called it quits at that point. I could see a good case for that.
Right.
But so the 2 go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kevin. I was going to say, for those listening, what they put in their cache log is, I'm a bit of a puzzle fanatic, so I used option 1 to solve it, and then used option 2 to check my work. I thought that's funny. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I don't know. I guess that means you don't really need a geochecker on this one. Just do them both, right? But anyway, the thing with this one is then that you get, if you could scroll back up a little bit, let's get that other solution. And
sure,
it's my own puzzle, so I'm not going to spoil it, but I can at least give you this hint along with a little philosophy of puzzle writing here. I mean, lots of puzzle writers make puzzles of varying difficulties. Good puzzle writers want their puzzles to be able to be solved, and they want to have a breadcrumb trail from where you start to where you got to get to do this. And so the good puzzle writers have something in there that might give you just a little bit of a nudge where you go. This one's maybe more than a little bit of a nudge, but This is a railroad cipher. The whole thing is about railroads, and you're at a railroad station when you're starting out with the posted coords there. And now you read this, and we find out that in some locker in this railroad station, there's that wrinkled up note that they found.
Right.
And so you have a bunch of letters, and evil, hateful me ended up going through and just writing the letters down so you can't copy and paste them. You got to type them in.
I love
but
that.
You are going to end up solving this thing. Probably, geocaching toolbox or,
Cache Sleuth as our new favorite.
Bumpkin or Cache Sleuth.
Cache Sleuth.
Shout out.
Yeah, we like that.
So
shout out.
Going through all those now, the trick is of all the ciphers that you have available to you, which one would it be? So there's a little breadcrumb thing here that leads to it because this is a railroad cipher.
Ah.
And if you read that paragraph carefully, there's a little piece that goes with that.
Right.
Don't be afraid to shout it out. You're not going to feel like I'm kind of hoping some people end up. This is as far as we'll take them. They can do the rest for themselves.
So
you see another word in there?
Yeah, I'm just going to read this so that for those that are listening. A passenger on a train to Milledgeville. By the way, shout out to my son who lives in Macon, who's not very far from here.
Okay.
I'll have to tell him to go find this one someday.
Yeah.
He's going to be going caching too, which it'd be a little ways from this, but he can do it when he gets home. Passenger on the train to Milledgeville is in seeking a geocache finds a strange bit of gibberish scrawled on a wrinkled up paper he finds inside a locker in the station. Looking at the paper, he's on the fence about whether to treat it as a meaningless railroad babble or important data which may help him find the geocache, or to reject it and search the railroad station for more clues. What could it mean?
Yeah.
There you go.
You did that really well. I don't need to say any more. I'm just going to shut up.
Say no more. Say no more. Say no more. Anyway, that's great. That's a good one, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm going to shout out there, Tracy Letterman. Thank you for making that one possible. So maintaining that for me.
Awesome. All
right, I got to go down and find my cache. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I did get to go down and visit.
Got a few of those like that sometimes. All right, we'll come back to a couple of yours here in a minute. Let's jump back up onto Electric Water Boy's list.
Let's stick on his. His sounds fun.
Keep doing his?
Yeah, I already know the answers of mine.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's jump to the next one then. Of Kevin's. It's called Easy as Pie. What's in a name?
Number 3.
I'm bringing up Easy as Pie 3. So let me share that with everybody.
Great.
And while I'm doing that, it's GC5 M as in multi, even though it's a puzzle. It's M as in multi. H as in hike 75.
Yeah.
So let me,
Gary, if you don't mind me just throwing in there, because you made the perfect segue to this earlier in our conversation here. Look at the date this one was hidden.
Yep.
Oh, 3/14/2015.
That's right. So this was that same day. You guys will recall that Groundspeak offered a Pi Day souvenir. The only time they've done a Pi Day souvenir.
Yes.
For that special magical day. And I've been doing Pi Day events for a long time for geocaching. But even before I was a geocacher, I was doing Pi Day stuff in school for my students. So this geocaching just gave me another venue, I guess, to bring that in. So I'm dangerous now. But this one here is based on a puzzle, I guess, that I had seen. So the neat thing is about this guy, Mr. Math. And he has 29 students in his class. And he built cubby holes for his students, blah, 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 blah. But you see here, it's saying that it turns out the cost of engraving depended on the letters in the name, while every A costs the same, every B costs the same, and so on, different letters of the alphabet can differ in price from one another. So I'm hoping this is feeling an awful lot like those algebra problems that we were talking before,
Yeah.
where your A's have a certain value, but you have to figure out what that value is.
When the students returned from their Pi Day recess, they were thrilled to see their new names on their cubby holes. One student, Xavier, asked Mr. Mouth, just how much did it cost you to have all of those letters engraved? Funny you should ask, replied the teacher with a grin. I have the cost for each of your names listed right here. Mr. Math proceeded to write this chart of values on the chalkboard. Love it. So Ned cost 85, Paul 50,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
so
it.
on. That's awesome. Xavier cost 89. Not too bad. Let's see. The most expensive is Charles, 212. Am I finding that? No, is that no Mavis,
Yeah.
250. Is that the highest one? Mavis.
Maybe, I don't know. The trick here is
250.
coming up with a great strategy to solve this one, and this puzzle actually kind of teaches you the idea behind the algebra that we were doing before. Because if you can look through, you have some very short names in here. There's a few that are very short.
Right.
Are there any where the letters that you use very similar to each other, or maybe are there any cases where there's like only one letter different between?
That's where I was heading.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't found that yet, but
you will.
ARI is 40. So the number of A's, number of R's, and number of I's, that totals up to 40.
Well, whatever number A stands for, the price of an A plus the price of an R plus the price of an I is 40. Yeah.
So A plus R plus I is 40. We don't know what those variables are yet.
So going on to the one next to it, I could substitute that and say 40 plus E plus L equals 88.
Yes.
And you just keep going you got to find, I just haven't found where it's at yet.
I follow you, though. I see Ivy.
Look at Paul.
43. Paul is 50.
Now look around and look for something that's really close to having the same letters as Paul.
Oh, there it is. I see it. Yep. So you can get P right off the bat.
Exactly. And then it's like one step after another. Now it almost becomes a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle or solving a matrix, I guess, if you wanted to go to that point.
Right.
But what you're doing is you can kind of get one at a time. And then when you're done with this whole thing, well,
once you got one,
you
build
in mathematics, we trust. Once you have enough of those letters solved for what's the price of each one, you can add them all up and you've got the number you're looking for.
Oh, wow. I like that.
And this one has a really cool final too.
Oh, neat.
So, yeah, something that fits that theme.
And in case you're wondering, it is in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Near
Milford, Pennsylvania.
Just northeast of Milford.
Yeah.
Very cool. And in case you're wondering where Milford is.
Yep, I kind of am.
I'm going out a little further to take a look.
You're seeing New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania all at once in that map.
Showing. Oh, very cool.
That's the point.
That's
where the.
Oh,
yeah.
Is there a cache right here?
Oh yeah.
Is there a cache at the confluence of three states?
A part of a cache, I guess you could say.
Tri-states. It's funny that somebody labeled it. I always like when three or four states come together. I always think that's fascinating. Or even two states.
Yeah.
Or three states. Really, three is where two doesn't make much sense because you have too big of a line. But three states, when you get to three, that's when you get a triangle point. I always love those.
I have a geocache that's actually right on the edge of the land there, bordering the Delaware River at the easternmost point of Pennsylvania. That point that you were zoomed in on is It's not the same as the tri-state point. It's close by, but the easternmost point, the only thing special about the location is, that it's the easternmost point in Pennsylvania. But if you're I think we all must have a little bit of geography geek in us, right?
Oh, absolutely. I am big time, but yeah, I'll bring it back up.
It's cool to see that to know that you're standing at as far east as you can go in the state.
Oh,
there.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. So you're saying that, okay, so the farthest east you can go, is that over, where is it over here? Over by CR80?
No, move over to now down a little bit. You see that green island in the middle of the river? No, bring it down a little bit.
In the middle of the river.
Okay, that blue is the Delaware River.
Okay.
And it's bent right there. If you could pull
down
it
here?
down more. No. Slide it down, transpose it down.
Go down.
No, not with the plus minus. Yeah, just drag it down.
Just drag it down. Don't just drag it down. Go down.
Down this way?
The other down.
Pull the map down so we can see higher on the map.
Oh, higher on the map. I'm sorry. Up here this way.
There we go.
Oh,
there you go.
This
Stop right there.
This
right
triangle
there.
Nope.
Not exactly, but look at the land that's there. I wish I could point there.
Okay.
Follow the edge of the land. You see where it says Matamoros up there?
Oh, up here.
Okay, so that's Pennsylvania, but that's the only land in that picture that's Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Port Jervis is New York.
Oh, right. We're crossed into New York at that point. Okay.
Yes. So, but look at where the river bends and that easternmost point that is in Pennsylvania.
Right here, down where
you would ask if there's a geocache exactly at that point.
Oh, neat.
For only the reason that it's the easternmost point.
So it's right down here at this very tiny point down here. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
TST4 get to the point in PA.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring that up. Very cool. We're getting distracted. Okay.
Sorry, I made some friends and made some enemies with that one because hype to it is a toughie.
Oh man. Oh, okay. I like that one. That's interesting.
Thank you.
Hey, the wife would let me go get that one because there's a dog part in that picture. I could leave her and the dog together, and off I go.
There is.
So we're going to talk about Easy as Pie 05 next. So let me bring that one up. Did we finish with talking about Algebra Road Nightmare? I guess we did, didn't we?
You're done with the algebra, at least for going on this one here.
Yeah, I like that one. Let's talk about Easy as Pie 5.
I know I'm going to come back and solve 3 though.
Let me share. Yeah. Let me share this one with everyone. So the next one we're going to look at is called Easy as Pie 5 Perplexing Pythagoras. He's got pi dash Pythagoras. So let me share it with the chat room, and then I will now bring up the screen. Okay. Yep, it shared it. GC5M as in multi, H as in hike, number 7, and V as in virtual. GC5MH7V. And it is called, again, Easy as Pie 5, Perplexing Pythagoras. And, we got us a multi-square thing here. Place the digits for 0 to 8 in the circles so that the distance between successful numbers are decreasing. The straight line distance for each successive pair should be strictly decreasing. No ties. Ooh.
So a little explanation or further explanation order, maybe?
Oh, absolutely.
So the thing you want to do is you want to make your first trip from one of those letters to another one of those letters by a straight line. You want to make that the longest of any of the ones you're going to find. Now, the longest distance between two letters there, straight line distance, is F to C. As you can see, because of the opposite corners. But that doesn't mean that F to C is going to be where you actually start on this. But the trick is once you go from F to C, now you have to go from, say, C to another letter.
Right.
And,
okay.
And the thing is that you need your distances between each pair as you go straight lines around this grid. You need it to go lower and lower and lower, no ties. And actually, I have kind of a simpler example to explain. Do you see where I have the words "this example"?
Yeah.
If you could click on that for a second, that should bring up. Okay.
Yeah, I'll share that one. Oh, it's shared. Okay. Go ahead.
So, let's just say I made this one work out easily with the numbers here. So, because the number 0 is already there. If you started at 0,
right,
and then you moved over to 1, that's a total length of, we'll say, 3 units. If I called the length of a side of those squares 1 unit, that's 3 units from 0 to 1. Now, where's the Pythagoras come from? Comes in next. From 1, we're going to go to 2. By a straight line, not like, not following the sides, the streets, but, cutting across through people's yards, if you want to think of it that way. I don't know, Gary, maybe you could just... Lawn. Yeah, exactly. Gary, could you take your cursor and just run it back and forth between 1 and 2? Straight line?
1 to 2?
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what you mean. Across, that distance right there is what you have to figure out. Now, I think you can tell looking at it, it's less than the 3 units it was from 0 to 1.
Correct.
But in order to calculate how long that is, we use a thing called the Pythagorean Theorem that says that we can square 2 sides of a right triangle where they meet at a right angle, the 2 legs, add those squares up and take the square root. So if I have a triangle, imagine the triangle that goes from 1 to 2, but, make a right triangle out of that, it would go through 4, exactly.
Correct.
So the distance from 2 to 4 is only 1 unit. The distance from 4 to 1 is 2 units. And to find the exact distance between 1 and 2, we use the Pythagorean theorem. We go, 1 squared is 1, and 2 squared is 4. And add them up, we'll have 5, and take the square root of 5. So you get, you get another one of those irrational numbers. A number, I don't want to say like pi, but they could make posters out of square root of 5. We make puzzles out of square root of 5 if we want. But anyway, that number right there is less than the 3 units. We went from 0 to 1. So 0 to 1 is the longest. 1 to 2, that would be the second longest we'd have. Now from 2, we'll cut down to 3.
Right.
Okay. That's equal to the square root of 2. 1 plus 1. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
And then from 3 to 4, that's 1 unit. So there were no ties. 0 to 1 was 3. 1 to 2 was the square root of 5. 2 to 3 was square root of 2. And 3 to 4 was just plain 1.
Right.
And it got lower and lower every time. So if you could go back to the main page now.
Yes. Oh, my fault. Hang on.
Oh, come back. Welcome back.
We'll be there. Hang on.
Okay.
Hold that thought. I'm bringing it back up. I lost it. Square root of 5, by the way, is 2.23 something or other. So
2.236. Yeah.
6, right. So something of that nature, which again, it fits what your requirement was. And the requirement was that they decreased without tying.
Right.
So, right. So, all right. Back to that one.
Excellent.
Force Awakens. I'm feeling Derek would use a CAD program and just measure the distances.
Absolutely. Why not? You could. But now
Vote
the
Gloss
thing
liked it.
that, oh yes, thank you, Vote Gloss. You've done this one, haven't you, Vote Gloss? You can answer that question, pop that up, maybe.
Yeah, I will.
But scroll down there and let's look at that picture on the screen. And so now what you got to do is you got to work all of those 9 different letters in order, going, highest to lowest distances between them. And once you do that and assign the numbers to it, then the thing down below is going to end up giving you everything you need for that puzzle. It's not an easy one, but it's, I think it's a satisfying one. It's not a lot of drudgery.
Right. I do love it, though. That's cool.
And I can't take credit for having created the whole concept of this puzzle. Somebody I don't know did. And it goes way back to a puzzle I solved in California back in my rookie year of geocaching. And never forgot it. And he archived it, which was a sad thing, but he had no problem with me taking his idea and adapting it to here. I never forgot that puzzle. So yeah, that's right. Of course, I knew that. Back in 2017 did that whole thing. So yeah, he's a puzzler for sure.
Neat. Neat. That's a neat one. I like that. Well,
can I help you get evil? Take this same puzzle and make it 3D.
Oh, yikes.
Have you done the Pythagorean Theorem in 3 dimensions on these things?
That could be interesting.
It is interesting.
B squared equals C squared. Yep.
A squared plus B squared plus C squared equals D squared. It ends up being, Is
that really?
I wasn't going that far with it, but you still got to do the math if it
3-dimensional.
Yeah, on a Rubik's cube you could do it.
Oh yeah, Rubik's cube.
I'm just still going with the premise here. You go pick the 2 farthest distance apart.
Well, right.
Oh wow, yeah.
But now instead of a flat plane, it's 3D.
Right.
So you got to calculate the distance a little tougher there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could do this all night, but I don't think.
Or we could save some of these for next week.
Yeah. So we're going to do a part 2 next Tuesday, and so everybody join us again, and we'll talk some more. We got some more of Kevin's. Hopefully, if Kevin's available, he'll be on with us again. And Tom has some of his that we're going to do as well.
You remember where we left off?
I do. I'll make us a note, and we'll do.
We stopped at the sleeping pterodactyls on mine. Okay.
We did, and we did the first 3 of Kevin's. We got one more Kevin's to do, so we will do that. So, all right. Yep. Force Awakens. Hoping to have these solved by then. Quite a bit of homework. They will be in the
statement.
Yeah, really. So they will be in the show notes, all of it.
Hey, kitty cats.
So if you want to work on those in the meantime, you can. But until then, we will see everybody Sunday. If not, we'll see you back here next Tuesday.
What's the show Sunday?
Same bat time, same bat channel. I can't tell you, but you got to be on.
Oh yeah.
That's all I can tell you is you have to be on for it.
You already spilled the beans.
Gary, I know. Gary's wacky questions. I haven't shared the questions though.
No, he hasn't. I have no idea what you're going to ask.
Those are hidden in a vault, and they will not be revealed until they are revealed. So there you go. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Kevin, thank you so much for coming on. Kind of last minute, but it actually worked out perfect. We appreciate that. We should have realized. Of course, we weren't quite sure what we were going to do math wise, so I can't blame Tom too much because we weren't really quite sure yet. But anyway, it was great, and we'll see everybody either Sunday or Tuesday. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Good night, everybody.
Cue the music.